I asked ChatGPT some of the most common questions that millennials have about money to see if it could replace a financial advisor. ChatGPT has been all over the internet lately, so I wanted to see if it could give sound financial advice. This AI and others like it are developing rapidly and could revolutionize how we write, do research, and work as a whole. That being said, Chat AI is still in its early days and prone to errors. Still, I wanted to test how sophisticated it is. In case you're not familiar with ChatGPT, here's what it is in a nutshell. ChatGPT is a large language model developed by OpenAI that has been trained on a massive data set of conversational text. It uses a technique called unsupervised learning to learn patterns in the data and generate human-like responses to text input. The model can be fine-tuned to perform a variety of natural language processing tasks such as language translation, question answering, and text summarization. That explanation was generated by ChatGPT itself, and it does provide a decent level of detail, but I was curious, how well will it do with financial advice? I asked it some of the most common questions millennials and Gen Z are asking about finances to see if the answers were not just accurate, but detailed enough to take action on. Let me know in the comments if you think the AI performed well or if it brought up something that you didn't know. Question 1. How much should I save for an emergency fund?
It is generally recommended to have an emergency fund with enough money to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This will ensure that you have enough money to cover unexpected expenses or loss of income without having to rely on credit cards or loans. The exact amount will depend on your individual circumstances, such as your income and expenses. It is a good idea to start small and gradually increase the amount you save over time.
This was an appropriate answer, and I liked how it called out individual circumstances. It also gave a little bit of detail, but not really enough to plan off of. Question 2. What's an IRA?
An IRA, or individual retirement account, is a type of savings plan that allows individuals to set aside money for retirement on a tax-deferred or tax-free basis. The two most common types of IRAs are traditional and Roth. Contributions to a traditional IRA may be tax-deductible, but withdrawals in retirement are taxed. Contributions to a Roth IRA are not tax-deductible, but withdrawals in retirement are tax-free.
Again, the answer was appropriate, but I noticed that this answer lacked detail like contribution limits and how to set one up. My third question was a follow-up asking what a Roth IRA was, but it really only repeated the information that it had already provided, only adding in a minor history lesson about how the Roth IRA was created in 1997 by US Senator William Roth. Since I was already asking about retirement accounts, I went ahead and asked about the other popular type of retirement account. Question 4. What's a 401k?
A 401k is a type of retirement savings plan offered by employers in the United States. It allows employees to save and invest a portion of their salary before taxes are taken out. Employers may also choose to make contributions to the plan on behalf of their employees. The money in the account grows tax-free until it is withdrawn, typically at retirement age. The name 401k comes from the section of the tax code that governs these types of plans.
This was another basic answer that had little actionable info. Don't get me wrong, if a person has zero idea what these things are, this would be a good intro, but this information still requires more detail to be useful to someone who wants advice on the topic. At this point, I was starting to think that it may be a better idea to ask questions in a slightly different manner. Question 5. How do I budget?
To budget, follow these steps. 1. Write down all of your income sources, including your salary, any investments, and any other sources of income. 2. Make a list of all of your expenses, including bills, groceries, entertainment, and any other regular expenses. 3. Categorize your expenses into fixed expenses, those that are the same amount each month, such as rent or mortgage, and variable expenses, those that change each month, such as groceries or entertainment. Point 4. Subtract your total expenses from your total income to see if you have a surplus or deficit. 5. If you have a deficit, look for ways to cut back on your expenses or increase your income. 6. If you have a surplus, consider setting financial goals and creating a plan to save or invest that money. 7. Review your budget regularly to make sure you are sticking to it and to make adjustments as needed.
This answer is more helpful, providing actionable steps to budgeting. It still lacks a good bit of detail, but it captures the basics and provides an okay starting point. Question 6. What's a credit score?
A credit score is a numerical rating that represents an individual's creditworthiness. It is typically used by lenders, landlords, and other organizations to determine the risk of extending credit or renting property to a particular person. Credit scores are based on credit history and are calculated using a variety of factors, such as payment history, amount of debt, length of credit history, and types of credit used. The most widely used credit score model in the United States is the FICO score, which ranges from 300 to 850. The higher the score, the more likely it is that the individual will be approved for credit.
Another basic answer, but in this case it did provide factors that affect your credit score as well as the score range. I also asked it how I could learn more about building my credit as well as general tips on leveling up. This is what it told me.
Make sure you like and subscribe for more. The goal of this channel is to give you the tools and info you need to level up and gain greater control of your life.
All jokes aside, thanks to everyone who's subscribed so far. The channel is growing and I really appreciate all of your support. With how-to seeming to be a good technique for questioning, I moved on to another more complex topic. Question 7. How do I buy a house?
There are several steps to buying a house. 1. Determine your budget and get pre-approved for a mortgage. 2. Search for homes that fit your criteria and visit open houses. 3. Make an offer on a home and negotiate the terms of the sale. 4. Get a home inspection and possibly a survey. 5. Close on the home by signing a purchase agreement and transferring funds. It is also highly recommendable to hire a real estate agent to help you navigate the process.
I was noticing a pattern here with the AI. Despite having what I presume to be a wealth of knowledge, it gave really basic answers. So I began to wonder if my questions were too basic. I decided to throw something a little more complicated at it just to see how it would respond. Should I get a 5/1 ARM or a fixed rate mortgage?
It depends on your personal financial situation and goals. A 5/1 ARM adjustable rate mortgage typically has a lower interest rate than a fixed rate mortgage for the first 5 years, after which the interest rate can change. This can be beneficial if you plan on moving or refinancing within 5 years, as you will likely pay less in interest over the life of the loan. However, if you plan on staying in your home for more than 5 years and want the stability of a fixed interest rate, a fixed rate mortgage may be a better option for you. It is recommended to consult with a financial advisor or a mortgage professional to understand the pros and cons of each option and determine which one is best for you.
We were starting to get somewhere. This answer still wasn't super detailed, but it didn't leave me with additional questions like the others. I decided to try being as specific as possible in an attempt to elicit an equally detailed response. Question 8. I have a credit score of 660 and I'm looking for a credit card that offers rewards and has no minimum fee. What are my options?
With a credit score of 660, you may have some difficulty qualifying for a credit card with rewards and no annual fee. However, some options that may be available to you include secured credit cards and subprime credit cards. Secured credit cards require a deposit, which serves as collateral in case you are unable to make payments. These cards may offer rewards and have no annual fee. Subprime credit cards are designed for people with less than perfect credit and may also offer rewards and have no annual fee. However, these cards often have higher interest rates and fees than traditional credit cards. It's always a good idea to read the terms and conditions carefully and compare different offers before applying for a credit card.
At this point, we were getting close, but I needed the answers to be just a little bit more specific. Which secured credit cards offer the best terms?
There are many secured credit cards available, and the best one for you will depend on your specific needs and financial situation. Some secured credit cards that are known to have good terms include Capital One Secure MasterCard. This card requires a security deposit of $49, $99, or $200, depending on your creditworthiness. It has no annual fee, and you can get access to a higher credit limit after making your first 5 payments on time. Discover its secured credit card. This card requires a security deposit of at least $200, but you can get it back once you close the account. It offers 2% cash back at gas stations and restaurants on up to $1,000 in combined purchases each quarter, and 1% cash back on all other purchases. Citi Secured MasterCard. This card requires a security deposit of $200 or more and has no annual fee. It also offers a feature called Credit Steps, which means that the bank will review your account every 5 months, and if you're consistently making on-time payments, they'll consider graduating you to an unsecured card. It's important to note that these are just a few examples, and you should compare different offers and read the terms and conditions carefully before applying for a secured credit card.
That was it. That was what I was looking for. Information that I could use to take action. That's when I really understood why it was called ChatGPT. Emphasis on chat. You're meant to have a conversation with the AI and arrive at an answer. The advice isn't groundbreaking, but if you find yourself in need of answers, it could at least give you a decent starting point for more research. Artificial intelligence has come a long way in the past few years, but this experience has shown me that it's got even further to go if it's going to replicate humans. It's good with basic answers, but it lacks the intuition to give you detailed answers unless you ask the right questions. For now, I'd say financial advisors and anyone else worried about losing their job to an AI can breathe a sigh of relief. The AI gave okay information on credit cards you could get based on your credit score. But if you'd like more detailed information on the best cards to suit your needs, I discuss it more in this video here.